Hello everyone, I'm Azim here. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to collaborate your local VS Code, that is Visual Studio Code, to Google Cloud Console and deploy a Python application. Now, this particular Python application is written in FLASK framework, where the web page would be displayed as "Hello, my name is Azim." Okay, and to start off with, I will tell you how do you first connect with your Google Cloud SDK. How to install Google Cloud SDK and connect your Google Cloud console. So first thing is you have to install Google Cloud SDK. So I'll be installing in Ubuntu and I'm using WSL, that is Windows Subsystem Linux, okay, in my Visual Studio Code. And these are the steps you have to follow for installation, and there are various numbers of installation method. That is one is Linux, Debian, Ubuntu, Fedora, CentOS, Mac OS, and Windows. So I'll be using Debian/Ubuntu. So these are the steps. They are 100% correct. Just follow them and you will get your tool installed in your local Visual Studio Code. Now what you have to do is, to confirm your installation, you have to type gcloud version. After typing, you will get to know the exact version, and these are the rest library installed with the Google Cloud to support Google Cloud SDK. Okay, now the second thing, I'm using a Cloud Guru. One second. So I'm using a Cloud Guru to learn and play around the Google Cloud platform and the console. So it gives you 4 hours where you can do your R&D research and start learning things and start experimenting things. Just click on this particular button and wait until it starts. Okay, for me it has started, and make sure you open this in a private window. So just copy the link and paste it in the incognito mode. Okay, and for copy all the credentials and just input your credentials. Okay, and accept the agreements and you will be into the Google Cloud platform. Okay, I'm inside. I'll just agree which country I'm from. Okay, good. Now let me show you what is App Engine. So App Engine is a serverless deployment of your code. So this thing, the first thing is App Engine, and this is the symbol of App Engine. So App Engine supports multiple languages like Node.js, Python, Java, etc. So today we'll be using Python program, that is FLASK framework, which we will deploy an application using this particular service. So once you log in, you will get to know your project and your project ID. Okay, and it is important to communicate from your local Visual Studio Code to the Cloud Console with using the tool called gcloud SDK. Now when you log in into the console, you have to enable this particular service. As a sandbox, this particular service is already enabled, so I'll directly go into my Visual Studio Code and authenticate. So the first step is to authenticate your local to your Cloud Console so that it knows you're authenticated, and these are the files which needs to be deployed in this particular that App Engine service. So the second step is gcloud config list, to make sure who the person you are, which project you are in, and which particular ID you have been logged in as. So currently this is an old ID. I will tell you how to authenticate between the console. Okay, so the command is gcloud auth login. Okay, and no launch browser. Okay, so you'll get a link for this. Just copy this link with Ctrl+Shift+C and go to the tab and paste it and authenticate with the latest account. and you'll get a authentications secret ID to authenticate your localness, and just provide it and give enter. Okay, super. So you have now you're logged in as Google Cloud user. Now what you have to do is copy your project ID. Okay, so that again you set your project ID to this particular ID and use your thing. So to set your project ID, the command is gcloud. Okay, config set project and paste. Okay, now the project property has been updated. Now you can verify it by using gcloud config list. Okay, very good. So we see that the account has been changed and the project name has been changed to the one which we are using, that is 545D, and this is the account. Very good. Now what we have to do, so the app engine should know where the files are there and what it needs to be deployed. Okay, now we know that we are connected to the Google Cloud Console. We have to redirect to the directory which we are working in. So I'm working in the projects GCP folder and project 1, correct? So over here you can see the files are app.yaml file, main.py, and requirements.txt, right? So you would know what is requirement.txt is the framework which needs to be supported by the deployment, that is deployment service, that is App Engine, and the program which needs to be run, the code which needs to be run on the App Engine, and the app.yaml file to make sure which compiler is needed to run the program. Okay, so we are all good to go, and this is a very simple program, and you can modify your program likewise your desired ones. Okay, so I'm gonna deploy this particular code in my App Engine. So I will say gcloud, once again, yes. So we are gonna say gcloud app deploy in this particular current directory. So let's go. It'll ask you the zone, which zone do you want to deploy in, and we can choose US Central, that is the second option. Okay, and it's creating, and you will get your link. Okay, and yes, okay, we have to just authenticate, and we have to make sure that all the details are correct, and app.yaml file is correct, and this is the source directory, and this is the project name, and services default. Very good. Version is this default version. Okay, App Engine, so it's gonna use this particular service account. Deploy. Awesome, it is using the Google Cloud Storage to update all the files from local to the Cloud Console and deploy it in our service. Great. We can wait for a few minutes. As we have chosen the zone, it might be searching or requiring a particular free availability to deploy our service. Once the deployment is done, It is setting up the traffic, yeah. And if you want to use and browse that particular application, you can use the gcloud app browse, or what you have to do, it provides you the link to your application which is deployed. Just copy it using Ctrl Shift C and go back to your browser and just paste the link, and you will see your application is deployed. Awesome. So this way I have integrated my local Visual Studio Code using WSL and the Cloud SDK Ubuntu tool in the Ubuntu machine. Yeah, I'm using the Cloud SDK Ubuntu tool, SDK tool in Ubuntu machine, and deployed and connected my Google Cloud Console and deployed a particular application which is from Python. So thank you. If you want to know more, please like and subscribe.